Come on, babies. You can do it. Come on. Come on. Come on. Let's go check out the pond. Let's go see how the pond's doing. Hello, everyone. So, I'm currently taking my goslings to the pond. The goats decided to follow because there is not one place I can go without bottle-fed goats. Anyways, yes, I now have goats, by the way, guys. A lot's happened in the last few months. These are the only goats that we have. But the white one with the black head, that's Karma. He is a male. He is fixed. And then this right here is Destiny, is the female, the black one. Anyways, we have our 5 goslings, the 5 that I have left. Oh, careful, Kaiju. Come on, babies. So 4 of these guys are actually from my geese. So these are 4 hybrids. If you guys have followed me in the past, if you guys watched my shorts from earlier this year, the pond has not refilled yet, guys. Then you guys will know that I had a Canada gander, one of my Canada ganders, I own Canada geese, who bred with one of my domestic females by choice. I don't force any breedings, I don't force any pairings. And they had little hybrid babies. 2 of the hybrid babies sadly passed right at the end of incubation. One of them was raised by the gaggle. So that one is with the gaggle. It's part of the gaggle already. These 4 were raised by hand. And then 2 of them I did sell to a really nice lady who absolutely adores and loves Canada geese. And I get updates on them a lot. They are living a very spoiled life. So, because I could not keep all of them, of course. But I do have a special needs one. This one right here. Ended up having issues with her legs. But she keeps up real well. She does really well. And then these 3 right here, we've got, right here we have Chomper. This is Chomper right here. And yes, it's hot out. We have Arlo. Hi, Arlo. And then we have Rexy, our Rexy girl. What's up, Rexy girl? And then this right here is our new bar-headed gosling. Well, they're now old juveniles. They will look like adults to most people, but these are juveniles. If you listen to their voices, hi, babies. You can kind of hear that sweet sound that they still make. Yeah, look at that. That's a pond, guys. Last time you were here, you were babies. Karma does not know anything about personal space. I've had him since he was only about, he was about a week old, I think. 4 days to a week old. When I got him, his mama had rejected him. He was horribly emaciated. And I bottle fed him. And now they are free-range goats. And then, of course, I got him a friend. My friend had got goats. And one of her goats had babies. And we went ahead and chose Destiny. Now Karma is fixed. One of the reasons why we made sure that he is fixed, so basically he doesn't have, his sac was removed. The reason why we chose to do this actually is because, main reason is because he's a mixed goat. We don't know what his parentage exactly is. We have some ideas, but we don't know exactly. We do know his mom was very small and his dad was very large. But I'm not comfortable having Destiny, our little girl. Hey, Jasmine. Hi. I'm not comfortable with Destiny, our little girl, being impregnated by him in the future, where he might be carrying genetics that are very from a large breed, with her actually being a miniature goat. So, because of the potential complications. Guys, I'm sorry we can't go in the pond today. As you guys can see, the pond's pretty darn low. Our pond, usually, if the water is in, you guys can kind of see that divider right there. That's about as deep as the pond usually is, how much more water there is usually. So, hey, Francis. So I own a lot more geese than this. They're all up at the house. I thought with the rain we'd had over the last couple of weeks that maybe the pond was gonna be a little fuller than that they could go in, but it's just not full enough, and we don't like murky water. Up, Destiny. Personal space. Come on, babies. Come on, let's go back up to the house. We'll go clean up the pools. Come on, let's go. You coming? Are you coming? So these guys are hand raised. I own Canada geese. Let's see. I own Canada geese. And my Canada geese are mostly hand raised. They are very tame. I do legally own them. I don't take them from the wild. That would be highly illegal and against the law. It would also be cruel. Why, thanks, Francis. But my main focus with my geese is not breeding. I also do not raise my birds for meat. I just love geese. I enjoy having geese. They are basically my pets. So much like some people love cats and some people love dogs, I love geese. Again, goats have no idea of personal space. Karma, Destiny, what are you guys doing? Anyways, these guys right here, these goslings, and they are technically still goslings. Well, they're juveniles, but they're still babies. Canada geese, for an example, they will stay with their parents for about the first year of their lives. I enjoy making these videos because I like to show people that geese are not these aggressive, mean animals that will like attack you and beat you up for no reason, but that they're actually doing it for good reasons when they do attack, at least from their own perspective, even if we don't understand it. Generally when a goose attacks, it is because they are either scared, territorial, or on defense because they have a nest somewhere nearby. Hi, David. Nah, Francis, not today. I just recently went through surgery, so I'm still recovering and not at my best. Anyways, but I figured I would go live again because I haven't gone live in a long time. And I used to go live every couple of days. And yeah, it's been several months. And I figured I would post a live, kind of explaining a little bit what's been going on. So I ended up going to the emergency room back in May. I had fallen unconscious. This is something that, the only reason I'm sharing this is because my experience was very different, not very average for this issue. So I figured I would share what happened to me so that maybe other people who have similar or same symptoms will know to look for this or to check this to see if it's the same thing. But basically, I had an episode where I had fallen unconscious. I had what is called a vasovagal episode, where basically, I call it the vagus nerve. I guess it's called the vasovagal nerve or whatever. Here's the rest of the gaggle. Hi, babies. Hi, pretty bird. What are you doing? What are we doing? Hi, babies. Hi, babies. What are you doing? Pretty bird is my original gander, my original goose. He's a hybrid. That's how I got into the whole mess. And how my poor husband now has to deal with having geese all over the property. And then the other one, these guys' sibling, is all the way at the end, right there behind that goose. That's the other hybrid that I have right now. Now, I have a fascination with hybrids. Pretty bird, will you quit with the attitude? What are you doing? What are you doing? Oh my goodness. Come here. Come here. Hi. Hi, pretty boy. Hi, Bubba. Hi. Hi. I know. I know. I know. Anyway, quick disclaimer. Again, you cannot take Canada geese from the wild. You cannot take cackling geese or bar-headed geese from the wild. The other geese that I own are domestic, but those 3 breeds are not domesticated breeds. These are called exotics. Um, so the Canada geese are these bigger ones right here. Cackling is that tiny one right there. And the bar-headed geese are these guys right there. So there are breeders in the U.S. You will have to check your state laws because there's a federal law when it comes to owning these breeds, and then there's state law. So the federal part, you need to find a breeder that's legal. The state part varies by state. And basically you need to have physical evidence that you did not acquire these birds from the wild. Make sure that you have a paper trail and a proper documentation so that if, for an example, a warden were to be called to your home, which, by the way, you might be surprised, this is a lot more common than you think it might be, or police comes to your home and is like, hey, wait a minute, these animals we all know are federally protected. Canada geese are federally protected. Why do you have them here on your property? Or why do you have them locked up in an aviary, or whatever the case may be? In that situation, you'll be able to pull out the documents and prove it, because like I said, it is a federal offense that can have like a really big fine and I think some prison time if you break the law. So it's important to not get these animals illegally. Also, besides the point that it would be cruel to take these animals out of the wild because it's wrong. But other than that, to get back to the other thing. Here, guys, come on, let's go back. You guys need water. Come on. Come on, Kaiju. Come on. Come on, babies. Come on. Come on, Kaiju. Come on. Come on, turkey legs. Come on. Come on, babies. Come on, babies. As you guys can see. Hey, Greg. As you guys can see, the rest of the gaggle is busy foraging and they're doing their own thing, while the youngsters, the ones that I hand raised recently, are the ones that are following me and listening to me. Karma. Not right next to where the goslings are. Thank you. Anyway, so the part that I was going to share about my whole medical thing real quick. Back in May, I had a vasovagal episode. Basically means that you get a sense of doom. You can get shakes. You suddenly feel lightheaded, nauseous. Like a sense of doom, like you're going to die. Like you feel like something is so wrong that you're dying. You can become lightheaded or suddenly pass out. Come on. It's a sudden blood pressure drop, basically, that happens to your body. It's from, I believe, your fight or flight instincts setup thing. Anyway, so this happened to me. I had issues with this for the past 2 years, on and off. Not any major episodes, but I'd had like the symptoms, but not to the point of becoming unconscious. And I'd had this issue for a while now, for the past 2 years, and didn't know what was causing it. In May, Karma, knock it off. Quit being so jelly. I had come on, babies, we're almost there. I went into the ER. I got checked. And it turned out that actually my vasovagal episodes were being caused by gallstones. Now, for the next following months after that, I was waiting for my surgery date. Of course, I had to be checked and all that stuff. This was confirmed through ultrasound, CT scan with contrast. And had recently had my gallbladder removed. And since then, I've had improvements. The hope is that these improvements are permanent. But the reason why I'm just bringing this up real quick is because if you guys find yourselves or you know somebody who has difficulty that anytime their stomach hurts or they feel like any kind of cramping of their stomach or anything like that, And this results in them feeling dizzy, shaky, having tremors, cold hands and feet, feeling like a sense of doom, like they feel like they're going to die or something is seriously not right. Heart rate goes crazy. Well, that's what it feels like. That there is a potential that this is a symptom of another issue that in my case turned out to be a gallbladder issue. I was dealing with chronic inflammation amongst other issues. So, and we found it just in time. And once it was removed, the results kind of basically proved that it was a very good thing that it was removed when it was. In my case, there was no way around having that done. But I share this only because when I do the research and I look into gallbladder issues that are connected with vasovagal symptoms, there's very little to no information about this on the internet. And I struggled with this for the past 2 years, which really affected my health, my quality of life, and my productivity. So this is why I'm sharing this information, because I want to let you guys know, just generally have something out there that is titled about the connection. Oh, you, Arlo, come on. You're so tough. Come on, Arlo. Come on. But that's pretty much all I'm going to say about that. Hey, Super Mario. Oh, I absolutely love Canada geese as well. Personally, my favorite are Canada goose hybrids. These guys. These are hybrids between Canada goose and domestic goose. And I find those fascinating and beautiful. Come on, babies. Come on. Let's go to your water bucket. I need to fill it up and get some fresh water going for you. Come on. I know why. You can tell my teenagers made this water and left it in the sun. Oh, by the way, this was freshly made about 2 hours ago. This is how quickly it gets dirty. All right, you guys go ahead and cool down for a second. Mama's going to get that water going. Anyways. Thank you, Greg. Yeah, I mean, now I'm hoping that it's over. That's the hope, that the surgery worked. And that, Karma, will you quit being a butt? She's a girl. She doesn't have horns. You won't for very long if you keep causing problems. Yeah, don't look at me like that. Anyways, but the hope is that it's going to be, that it's now over and that I'm healing from it and all that stuff. And so far, I haven't had any symptoms, vasovagal symptoms, which, by the way, while I was waiting those couple of months for the surgery date, I was having symptoms literally on a daily basis. So it was nonstop, not feeling right. And it ruined gosling season for me, which is the part that bothered me the most, to be honest. Because it was like, this is my first year that my birds have produced offspring that was Canada goose anything, right? So like Canada hybrid. Like this was the very first year that I got to have Canada hybrids. Popcorn. I'm pretty sure that's not one of your girls. That girl belongs to the neighbors. But I ended up not being able to enjoy it much because, well, by the way, the goats made a mess. So earlier, I gotta clean up the bags and everything else. But that's why I was unable to enjoy the goslings, because I couldn't do anything. Everything I did was triggering my vasovagal response. Karma, this is what he does. He wants head scratches. No, you don't do that with your horns. You don't do that. No. No. Nope. No. See? You come over to Mama, stand next to me. I'll give you scratches, but don't use your horns. Okay? You gotta learn not to use them. Okay, babies? You hear me? Yeah? Alright, good talk. Hi, Destiny. Hi, Destiny. um, yeah, it's been a long time for me too. Um, Pretty Bird's been good. They got to raise one of the goslings, one of the hybrids. The last two eggs, we were incubating them for them to make sure that they would hatch. Then we brought them outside, the newborn babies, because we did have several moms who were broody. We had so much rain when they were laying the eggs that we were bringing the eggs inside to incubate. We decided to keep them indoors because honestly, I wasn't planning on keeping as many as I did. I'm a sucker, you know. But in the end, the plan was the last two eggs were supposed to go to the gaggle and let them raise the last two babies. No, Karma, really? Can you not jump up on my stomach? Anyways, the last two eggs, I was incubating them while the mama was sitting outside on duds, basically eggs that were not fertilized. And one of the eggs passed away during the hatching process, which was such a bummer. And so we ended up having only one to put outside. But the whole gaggle literally like rallied around that baby. Karma, knock it off. The whole gaggle rallied around that baby and has raised that one baby together. And Pretty Bird has spoiled the living bejesus out of it. Here, this is one of my neighbor's chickens. Isn't she pretty? What's up, Mama? What do you need? But Pretty Bird has just spoiled the living bejesus out of that baby. So it's a very spoiled gosling. Like the entire gaggle, every bird, every single one of the domestics decided that that they were mom, including the biological mother. And Pretty Bird and Spike. So Spike being one of my Canada ganders, the one that made it with Peach, which is the biological mother. So the biological father and biological mother. Spike, my Canada, and Pretty Bird, they were both the dads. So, and Pretty Bird, as always, there's a gosling, he's daddy. Like that's just how he is, who he is. It's like he's just excited when he sees any female walk over with babies. Those are his babies in his mind. I mean, last year, I don't know if you remember, he did adopt those babies that we put in with Dino that we got from the store, which ended up being now our two African production females. What are you doing, Rexy? You need water? Is Karma keeping you from? I think he's chugging. Give him a minute. Don't worry. I'm getting the pools all freshened up. I'm gonna get all the pools freshened up. What are you guys doing? Hi, Destiny. Hi, Mama. You gonna poke her in the butt? Let him get some water real quick. They were walking with us too. Come on, Destiny. Destiny, you know this is not the only water source on this property. Nope. Nope. Leave her be. Come on, Karma. Go. Go, Karma. It's okay, Rexy. Let's go to the water. You're okay. You're okay. You're okay. You're okay. You're okay. What are you doing? What are you doing? You know, I wasn't holding on to you. I was shielding you from the goats. Dork. No, actually. Like, the females, so far, all the females except Pretty Bird, as I think it's because they all grew up around Pretty Bird, so they all kind of still see him as a leader. Like, when Pretty Bird announces we're going somewhere, the whole gaggle moves. These guys, they're not quite accepted into the gaggle yet, but we're working on it. And I am just now starting to get back on my feet. My recovery hasn't been very easy either. So I'm just starting to get back to everything. So I have a lot of work to do. I need to move the aviary. I need to move the trampoline that's in the front. I need to move this stuff. I need to clean out the chicken coop. There's a lot of stuff that needs to be done that hasn't been done the way that I like it to be done, or as often as I like it to be done, because I haven't been at my best. But I'm coming back now. As long as I don't pick up more than 20 pounds, I can do it. Which we all know I'm going to be cheating. But yeah, pretty good. So far, Layla accepted him when she had her babies. And then we had Dino with her babies. You want to play with that for a minute? Fine. But then we had Layla with her babies first. Then we had Dino with her babies that we bought from the store. And then now we had, she went to, look at the goats. She went, the baby went to the most broody mom, which was one of the, African production females, so one of last year's babies. And she was the most broody, so the baby went to her first. And she's been completely accepting of Pretty Bird as well. Oh, yes. I don't know what it was, but that year when I still had my African males, before I had to rehome them, when they started going into breeding mode and started becoming territorial and wanting to fight for females, and that time initially he was so confused. And back then, I don't know if you remember, he really didn't understand that he was a goose in a way, from basically based on what I absorbed. He didn't really seem to understand that he was a goose. So he very much would act like he was trying to mate with humans rather than animals, rather than the other geese, which was of course an issue, because most of us who understand and know geese know that they're not going to be very happy if they don't have a mate. Geese are very family oriented. They need that mating bond to be truly fulfilled. And but somehow that woke up his instincts that year, and I think it was 2022. Yeah, 2022. That it kicked in. And ever since then, he's right on top of it. He's territorial. He is so territorial, I'm telling you. He is the most territorial gander I have on this property. He will come across the whole property just to chase off somebody he thinks is competition. It actually makes it harder for me to add birds, like add new geese to the scenario, especially males, because Pretty Bird is so territorial and so protective of his gaggle that it complicates things sometimes. But at the same time, Pretty Bird had, I think Layla had, I think it was 9 goslings that she hatched out, which, by the way, she was a phenomenal mom. She hasn't had any babies since, but that first year I had her, I think she hatched out like 9 babies. All 9 of, like, Pretty Bird was there with her raising them and protecting them. And back then I only had maybe 6 geese total. And they did not lose any babies, not a one. Like, Pretty Bird has never lost a gosling. It was 2 last year, and then it was 1 this year that they raised up. But regardless, it's just Pretty Bird has never lost a gosling. He's very attentive. He spends the entire time those babies are around, like the first couple of weeks of the babies being around, it's like he won't pick his head up from the ground. He has his head down like this at the ground at all times, just looking around like this. And if they lay down to sleep, he stands up and is on watch. But it's just something I've always thought was really funny, because I'm like, is your neck not hurting? Because he literally keeps his head down to the ground nonstop for like what seems like weeks, because he's in constant threat mode. Like, he's in constant try me mode, where he's like, you will not dare come anywhere near my children. So he's very good at it. He's very, very good at keeping his gaggle and his family safe, which I'm very impressed with it, especially since he was hand raised, he was human raised. Again, this was clean water. Oh yeah. If anything, I feel like Pretty Bird sometimes teaches them to be a little bit too defensive, you know? Because he's so protective of them. But that's the thing, is when you spend more time with your birds, the more time you spend with your geese, the less they're going to be skittish, the less they're going to be aggressive. And this counts for any scenario. So even if you don't hand raise your birds and you got them as juveniles, or maybe you got them as adults, if you spend a lot of time with them, they're going to calm down 90% of the time. They're going to calm down. They're going to be more tame. They're going to be more comfortable around you. Yes, you will get some. But yeah, but the biggest thing that I enjoy the most is how much Pretty Bird enjoys being a dad. Like, Pretty Bird is absolutely... We got zoomies. What's up, Arlo? Hi, Arlo. Hi, Arlo. Hi, Arlo. Hi, Arlo. What are you doing, baby? Hi, Arlo. Hey, Nugget. Oh, yeah, and then Nugget has found her a new goose gaggle. She is now part of the goslings over here, our new babies. And she is as much of a meanie as she's always been. So spoiled. Always has been. Just such a butt. Anyways, but yeah, Nugget is now part of these guys' gaggle. Hi, Kaiju. Hi, Kaiju, 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 Kaiju. Hi, Kaiju, 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 Kaiju. Hi, babies. Pretty Bird? Um, he's definitely very independent now. There you go, Chomp Chomp. Jumper, what are you doing? Hi, Jumper. Big boy. Jumper's our biggest one from the goslings. He's massive. That's me, dummy. Sorry, I didn't mean to startle you. But, I mean, Pretty Bird is with the kids the same way he is with me. Like, he's not going to follow us everywhere anymore. He has his moments where he'll follow us. Usually it's if he knows that we have food, or he thinks we have food, or we call him over for some purpose. He'll come over in those scenarios. But it's not like he follows us all over the place anymore. Those times are over. He's a big boy now. He's all grown up now. Apparently my protests meant nothing. Oh yeah, she does. Whenever she feels like it. She has her moments. It seems to pick up more during breeding season, though. She has enslaved one of the Canada geese, though. And when I say enslaved, I mean enslaved. Like, she literally terrorized this one female, which I believe to be a female, like, for months. She kept chasing after her nonstop, just yelling at her. And eventually... Hey! And eventually, that female ended up accepting the fact that she could not get away from Squirt and just kind of gave in. Like, she like, I don't, just, it's the strangest thing. And now Squirt, like, this female is like her bestie. So Squirt kind of forced one of the geese to become her friend. It's a small female. We do have a male cackling now. Finally, after many years. Many years of trying to find a cackling gander. We finally found a cackling gander. He's not yet with the gaggle, though. He's still separate. Again, because I was going through the health issues, so I wasn't able to properly integrate him yet, which, you know, sucks, but I'm working on those things to get everybody properly integrated. So, like, these guys were my first step to get them out because they're goslings. And they needed to get out of the house from like still being in the house and then spending the night, spending the days like fenced in. They needed to get out, and so that was my first step, and I'm working towards all those things now. Of like I said, deep cleaning everything, moving everything, getting everything done one by one, so that I can catch up on all the work. Because as much as my two teenagers have been doing a phenomenal job picking up the work that I could not do while I was pretty much, I mean, for big chunks, I was like bedbound basically because I was consistently in pain. But I have to catch up on those things. But the kids made sure that they were taken care of, that they had food and water, that they were properly put up and let out every day. But when it comes to like some of the bigger, more specific things that I've always done, they just didn't know exactly how to do it. So those things are still needing to be done. And they help me with it. So it's not like I'm doing it by myself. But there's a lot of work to be done. Huh, Bubba's? I've only been allowed to like start doing stuff for the last week now. So like this has been 1 week. And I mean, these guys have been out longer than that. But that's pretty much all I could manage at the time. And now now I'm focused on getting other things done. I just moved the goat enclosure. This is the goat place where the goats sleep. This fenced in little just aviary run, whatever it's called. Fun fact about this thing. So this was the neighbor's chicken enclosure, okay? Like our neighbors next door. And then there was a big storm, and it like, because of the tarp that was on top, it picked it up and threw it across their yard beginning this year, and kind of destroyed it. Well, not destroyed it, but like weakened some corners, like areas like this that broke. But the rest of it was still fully intact. So when I saw it laying in their yard for several weeks, I said, hey, if you guys end up planning on selling it or getting rid of it or whatever, can you please let me know? They said, oh, we're planning on trashing it. Like they were going to trash it. Well, I'm the kind of person that sees value in things that I can reuse or fix. Hi, babies. These are all of our juvenile chickens right now. They're getting used to being outside, interacting with everyone and dealing with the new temperatures and everything like that. But anyway, making friends. But yeah, I asked them that, and they said they were going to throw it away and I could have it. So I kind of did some liquid fix thingy, which as you can see has not worked that well, and I do need to do this better. I probably need to weld it myself. But this is like, I don't know, $300, $400 run. Like this is not, these are not cheap. So I'm super excited about this. And this is what the goats sleep in overnight. And then they free range during the day. They graze during the day wherever they want on a property. And they do really well about not leaving or anything. Which I'm hoping you guys work down the weeds. Yes, I do. And leave the flowers alone. But then at night they go in there, and that's where they sleep right now. And I've got a camera on them and all that. I mean, I have a camera on all the animals. But yeah, they go in, no problem. But so yeah, I got me something that I would consider, for myself, I consider that a treasure. I desperately need more enclosures, to be honest, to be able to maneuver things properly. So I'm working on improvising. I'm working on solving the problem in other ways, which is just something that I do, because, you know, the way that I do it is that whatever it is that I need, darn it, Karma, you're going to chase her away. I was trying to say hi to Kaiju. You know, you're not the only baby I have, right? You're not my only baby, Karma. He thinks I'm his mama. Like I said, I raised this guy from when he was like, I think he was 5 days old, 4 days old. He wasn't even like a full week old yet. His mother had rejected him and he was emaciated. He was starving. She was not allowing him to eat. So she rejected him on like day 2, and they were trying to get her to accept him. I guess she had like 4 or 5 babies, and it was just too much for her. So when I got him, he was tiny. He was just so skinny, like just all bones and skin. But so he was hand raised, completely hand raised, with no other goats around for the first couple of weeks, months. And then we got little Miss Destiny from my friend when she got her goats. Well, when she got a herd of goats that she added to her goats, and that's been nice for him because it gave him a friend. And Destiny is like, she's the sweetheart, where he is the mischief, the troublemaker. Destiny, she's a sweetie pie. Hi, Destiny. Yes, you are. She's a sweet baby. He's always the one trying to buck her and mess with her and gets her riled up, and then she defends herself. Yeah. And like I said, he's fixed because he's a mix, as you can see by his floppy ears. He's a mixed breed. So we did not want to, because she's a purebred miniature. So she's not going to get very big. I don't know how big he'll get, because his dad was apparently massive and his mom was tiny. But they did not know what breeds they were. Chickens. You know I can't feed you while the goats are out. I know you guys hate that, because in the past, if they've accumulated around me, they got fed any time of the day. If they showed me that they wanted food, I gave them food. Mama, you look horrible. I need to put a saddle on you. I need a saddle on you. We have a plucked chicken, guys. She's most likely it's a combination between molting and being overbred by the rooster. Again, I haven't been around much, so see, like a lot of them are molting, so they're regrowing feathers, and some of them are not yet molting, and some of them need a saddle. So, as you guys can see, lots of work to do for me. Lots of catching up to do. Now I need to move this water hose around. Carmen, can you stop making a mess? Excuse me, buddy. Come on. Come on, Carmen. Come on. No, I'm not playing. I'm not playing, baby. Oh, darn it. Anyway, so yeah, that's pretty much it. We've had medical, we've had emotional, we've had emergencies, and we have new animals. That's the way it goes. Come on, babies. Yeah. And you got scratches. You got itches? You got itches? You got itches, Destiny? Isn't she just the cutest little baby? She's so cute. She's so cute. Destiny. My friend has her brother recently sold her mother and her sister. And one of her goats had more babies. And I'm telling y'all, it's funny how tempted you can be, even though you're already overwhelmed with what you got. So, but I'm not going to get anything else, not anytime soon. I need to catch up on everything that needs to be done first and figure out a rhythm for what I have here. Because, like I said, I've had animals at it. So, hey, Paul. Now that I've had goats for a while, as you guys can see, there's not a lot of personal space, which the only time that bothers me is when, for an example, look, watch what happens if I try to go say hi to Kaiju, which is my little bar-headed goose right there. Watch. Hi, Kaiju. Hi, Kaiju. Hi, baby. Hi, Kaiju. Kaiju. Hi, Kaiju. Hi, Kaiju. Kaiju. You know why she's walking away? Do you want to bet? Kaiju's very tame. But, hi, Kaiju. Can you tell what I'm talking about here? That is the part that's annoying. I don't like that. And this is something that I'm working with them on, the no command. Um, if things had not been as extreme as they were, I would have been able to train them more, work with them more, which I'm going to be doing now. Because goats are not stupid, they're exceptionally smart. So I'm going to be working on having incentives, working with them on, reward system, so that I can teach them to, like, for an example, back away or leave something alone, not eat that, you know, um, things like that, so that isn't an issue in the future. They are useful though for things like this. And also keep in mind that the goats are still youngsters. They are still basically babies. So, and that I did hand raise them. I hand raised him from the get-go. And I bottle fed her for a while too. And so when you take that into consideration, it makes sense that they come around me a lot, because at this stage in development, they would still be around mom like all the time. And they'd still be following mom around and staying around her. So I'm not like upset about it. It's just there's moments where I want to go and hang out with my gosling and they get in the way. Right, ladies? See? Ready? There they are. There's never a time where they're not there. If I'm outside, see? I didn't even have to move my phone. They're there. But yeah, my husband, he's been in a lot of pain. We're working on that, trying to work with the VA and get things figured out. The kids are good. My son was recently sick, but other than that, we're good. I mean, like I said, my kids helped a lot while I was down and out of order, or whatever you call it, when something's not working properly. But during that time frame, the kids did not complain. They picked up the work. They offered it from the get-go. They did so happily, even the work that they don't enjoy as much. And they did the best they could to try and make sure that I didn't have to do a lot of the stuff that I normally did, to make it easier on me while I was going through my health issues. So, yeah. And I don't think that as a parent you can ask for much more than that, than to have teenage kids willing to, for, 3 months, to hold down the fort for you with your animals while you're going through health problems. I'd say that's pretty amazing, especially without complaining. I didn't have to make them. I didn't have to threaten them. None of that stuff. I didn't have to be like, I told you have to do that right now. No, it just became normal. And they still are doing stuff without me asking them to. As in every night during the hookup, they're both outside. And my son is constantly stopping me from doing stuff that he thinks is too heavy or too much. They constantly tell me to drink water and to take breaks. Very protective of me, which I'm very lucky to have very well-behaved children. They deserve everything in the world. And I try to give them as much as I can. Good kids. I don't know where this is coming. It's like a tarp or something that's getting ripped up somewhere from the wind. It's not good. Not good. But yeah, see? They caught up again. If I walk away and they don't notice it right away, they'll come running. Oh, Karma. Oh, big boy. But yeah. I drained that earlier and forgot to finish it. I need to finish it now. I got sidetracked. The babies and everybody. Do you believe me that I just cleaned this like 3 days ago? 2 days ago, actually. This pool was clean. There's a whistle. And look at it now. I mean, it was drained down, so this is like what's left of everything. It's like all the dirt and poop concentrated into a little puddle at this point. You just love them. I swear the leaves, the dried leaves are like chips to them. They're like snacks. I wonder when the gaggle's gonna come home, because I know that pond is not in good condition. So chances are they should be home soon. Brady bird! Shall we go see? I don't think I'll turn off the water, grab my water, and go see what the gaggle's doing. I doubt you guys want to watch me refill and clean a pool. Calm down, Mama. Come on. Hey, Popcorn. Hey, Mamas. Hey, Barbecue. What you doing, Mama? Grab my water. Seriously, though. The dried leaves have got to be something like a dry, you know what I mean? Like a salty snack. Like we have like things like chips and such. I bet that's what it is for them. Let's see if I can walk away without them following me. Sorry, I'm not coming on camera. I'm not really comfortable doing that right now. Not feeling my best yet. Not quite too comfortable with it yet. What are we gonna do? Are we coming or not? I might get it now. I might get Bryce. Are you ready? Look, where's its Karma? Hey, Karma. What are you doing? Where's Destiny? There she is, crying out. Bah! Well, don't run and eat at the same time. No wonder you're coughing. See? Yes. They would eventually follow. See, are you gonna stay or are you gonna come? Have they fainted yet? Who, the goats? Who, my kids? Who? Paul. Ah, there. They're not there anymore. Come on, babies. The bird. I found some goosies. Hi, babies. What are we doing? Are we taking a break underneath the trailer where I don't like you guys hanging out? Yeah. See, Dodo, why are you back here? You're limping. Pretty bird. Excuse you. Hi, everybody. Hi, everybody. Hi, everybody. There's the other gosling. They have gotten more used to the goats, but not quite enough. Let's go, babies. Come on. Let's go home. Let's go home. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Go on. Let's go. Nice and slow. Dodo, be careful. Let's go. I don't need you guys in the pond tonight. The pond is nasty. Pond is still yes, pretty bird. Hi, I love you too, pretty bird. Could we not, Karma? This is why I get annoyed. Karma, could you just stay with Mama, please? See how he acts all picked on? Like he's not the one causing the issues? Whatever are you talking about? This isn't even all of my geese. It's not that many. And who's counting anyway? Who's counting, Paul? Are you counting? I'm not counting. Why would I count? Look, all I see, look right there. You see that? That's joy, and that's happiness, and that's laughter, and that's entertainment, and that's mental health, and exactly. Pretty bird, stop it, Karma. Karma, you come here, Karma. Come here. Come here, Karma. Karma, come here. Come on. Good boy. You need to quit, dude. When you run away from Pretty Bird, run away from the geese, not in the middle of them. You're scaring them. Go on, Pretty. Go on, go home. Layla, 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 Layla. Yep, you tell him, Pretty Bird. Tell him. Go, go. The sun's kind of blocking out what they're doing. Karma. Karma. Stay here, Karma. Go slow, baby. Go slow. Let the geese have some distance. But you guys can see, this is the only part that gets frustrating with the goats, is when the goats get in between me hanging out with the geese. And so there's moments where, like, I will have my children, I will have my children, for an example, like distract the goats, or I will lock them up for an hour or something so that I can spend some time with the geese without them getting in the way. Like distract the goats so I can like take the geese somewhere else on the property where the goats don't generally go, so I have more time with the geese. And like I said, I'm working on training them. Come on, Karma. Karma. Bah. Bah. Karma. All right, I'm leaving. We have floofy butts. Look at that. Look at them. You know, wiggling their butts. Doink, 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 doink. Sorry. I think it's funny and adorable. Karma! Come on! Karma! He found something that tastes really good. No, don't leave me, Mommy! Mommy! He's not a bad goat. He just said, Karma! Really, Karma? Don't look at me like that. You did it. See, and then you wonder why Pretty Bird beats your butt. See, it's not this many problems usually with goats, because usually Karma's not running up on them like that. But on this pathway home, there isn't a lot of space for him to avoid them when he wants to run up to the house. So, yeah. Here they go again. Flapping their wings. Yep, and I can hear the babies calling. Destiny! Where are you? Are you hiding? Bah! 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 Where you at, Destiny? Hi, Mama. Come on, Karma. Bah! Bah! See, you can tell I got Destiny when she was a little bit older, and Karma when he was still a tiny bitty baby, because Karma won't let me go anywhere without him. Destiny, she decides if she wants to walk that far. She knows it's a far walk, so she may or may not come. But if I'm around the house, she'll follow me everywhere. But I'm pretty much good with the 2 goats. If we do ever, big if we ever want Destiny to be pregnant and have babies, my friend has goats and she has males. So I would be able to take Destiny, because he cannot produce offspring. He was banded. He does not have the equipment for that. So she's safe to not get pregnant on our property. We don't have any goats anywhere near us, so we don't have to worry about her getting pregnant or anything. But if we did want her to get pregnant when she's old enough, I would be able to like take her over to my friend's house, let her hang out there for a little while to allow her to become impregnated by her male. The reason we decided to go about it this way again is because Karma is a larger breed mix. They said the father was very large and the mother was very small. That's the extent of the information that I have. Whereas I know for a fact that she's a miniature goat. So I don't want her getting pregnant by a goat who is large breed, because that could put her in some serious risk when it comes to having babies. My friend, which is who I got her from, has the same breed goats. So if she were to breed with one of her males, she would then end up having babies that are the same breed as her, which would be miniature goats. So chances of complications would be significantly lesser. Well, you drive careful, Paul. It was good to see you too. Hi, babies. Hi, babies. Hi, babies. I know. I know. Mommy's got lots of work to do, babies. I know. I know. Oh, there's turkey legs right there. My little special needs baby. Anyway, guys, I'm probably going to post a quick short about the whole health thing, because I do want to have like a video that's just like dedicated to that, where I just quickly sum up symptoms that could potentially mean that you have gallstones or gallbladder issues. Just because, like I said, again, I did not know about it. And when I researched my symptoms, though I was able to find signs that it could be vasovagal nerve connected, I could not establish any connection between that and the gallstones. Even after knowing about the gallstones, it never popped up in Google, where it's like just where it was something that you could like look up and be like, oh, wait a minute, maybe I should be checked for this, right? So, and the symptoms that usually go along with gallstones, I did not have the same symptoms, even though I had a pretty serious case of gallbladder issues. So, yeah. So I'm probably going to post a short about that. Other than that, I'm going to be getting off here. I'm going to go ahead and finish up the pools in the front yard. I'm going to take this opportunity, while Karma is distracted. Hey, Kaiju. Hi, baby. Where's my sweet girl? This is Kaiju, our new bar-headed gosling. Isn't she just the sweetest thing? Isn't she just so cute? Hey, Kaiju. My sweet girl. Yes, Kaiju. You see a feather flying? There's a feather floating over her. Yes. You guys hear her do the... Geese apparently like diamonds too, guys. They love diamonds. Yes, 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 yes. Yes, I know. Especially bar-headed geese. I don't know what it is with bar-heads, but they love diamonds. Well, they love to play with your jewelry. It's not diamonds. It's just the jewelry they like to chew on. So for anybody who doesn't know, bar-headed geese, so all those little speckles in between those black lines will actually go away. This is part of the process of her growing up. And she will have these raised stripes on the back of her head. Just these triangles, these two stripes, these two triangles, one right there and one right here. And then she'll have that line going down the back of her neck. And that's it. All those little speckles in between will be gone, and it will all be pretty much clean white in between. But she is a bar-headed goose. She's a juvenile bar-headed goose, and she is her species is known for having been witnessed flying above Mount Everest, which I find absolutely fascinating. Now, sadly, and you guys are going to be like, hey, Cindy, how the heck did that happen? So, sadly, kaiju is pinioned. So the way I got kaiju is actually that somebody else was getting bar-headed geese and in Texas, and that person, the person they were getting them from, had a minimum purchase of 3, but this person only wanted 2. So they asked me if I'd be willing to take the 3rd. And this was right about the time when she was very close to the same age of these guys, of my hybrid babies, when they were still babies. So I accepted because I have a problem and I can't say no to geese. I'm just kidding. But yeah, pretty much. But I accepted, of course, and said yes to kaiju. And she came and joined us. And she's been a joy. But the person that got them was new to getting them and didn't know that there was something you needed to say, whether or not you wanted your birds pinioned. So this was just something where they just weren't aware of it yet, much like the same way that I ended up with Blue and Charlie being pinioned, my 2 Canada geese that are pinioned, is that I didn't know that I needed to tell the breeder or ask the breeder to not pinion. Now, that doesn't mean that every breeder will pinion them if you don't ask them not to, and it doesn't mean that they won't pinion them when you ask them not to. What I'm saying is that sometimes you have, sometimes or often, I'm not sure which one here actually applies, but you may have a choice there, right? And you can, and some breeders will always pinion the birds, and then you are going to need to tell them not to, or request them to not to pinion if that's something you don't want. Now, from my understanding, there's a possibility of it being required of the breeder in their home state. But in some cases it's not. So she actually came from the same breeder that my 2 original bar-headed geese came from. So those are my 2 original. You can see they got beautiful clean bars on the back of their heads. They free range, absolutely amazing birds. But those 2 are actually not pinioned, but she is. What this means is that I can let her feathers grow for ever, and she will never be able to fly. She's been permanently rendered flightless, is what pinioning does. Basically, they clip off part of their cartilage of their wing when they're babies. And as they grow, it results in just about half of their wing missing. Nugget, be nice. Come here, Kaiju. It's okay. It's okay, Kaiju. I got you. Here, Kaiju, it's okay. It results in about half of their wing missing when they grow up, meaning that they'll never be able to fly. What I prefer to do is what you'll see on most of my geese, where you see all the feathers, but then if you look closely, you can see there's missing feathers in between because I trim them. And they don't feel that. That's basically the equivalence of me doing a haircut. So the ones where I have concerns that they might fly away and get themselves in trouble or get themselves in danger, like you can see it's trimmed right here. And I like to leave the last 2 or 3 feathers if I can. And then just take a couple of the flight feathers in between for the long part of the wing, basically past the elbow. to the tip. I will take a couple of the feathers, probably about 5 of them or so, of the flight feathers. This will render them not completely flightless, okay, but it will ground them enough that they can't fly super high and or like get lost basically. And also it keeps them from being able to be shot by hunters, because hunters, generally the rule is that a hunter cannot shoot a Canada goose unless it's flying, unless it's in flight. So they can't shoot them while they're sitting on water. They can't shoot them while they're while they're walking on the ground, but they can shoot them while they're flying. I live in an area where I'm not the only property out here. As you guys can see, I'm bordering other properties, multiple other properties of different sizes, some with dozens of acres, some with a couple of acres, some with things in between or even more. And a lot of the farmers out here may or may not be hunters themselves. And a lot of the farmers out here may or may not like Canada geese. And there are exceptions when it comes to the federal laws, when it comes to Canada geese coming to people's own private land. And also people tend to like to do things that maybe is not legal, may like to do things that may not be legal, because it's their own land and nobody will know. I'm not saying that they will do it. I'm not saying that I've had any issues with that. Nobody has come after my birds on this land. Nobody has, even when my birds got off my land, which has happened, nobody has hurt them or done anything against them. None of the neighbors have had any issues with them, and none of them had said anything negative about them that I'm aware of. But I'm still going to take precautions to keep my birds safe. I hope that makes sense. Anyways, look at her stretching out her foot. Just relaxing. You relaxing? Hi, Turkey. Don't do it, Karma. Don't do it, Karma. Nope. Be nice, Karma. Come on. Come on. Come here, Karma. Come on. Really, Destiny? Did you have to walk right through where they were laying down? You guys are so rude. Anyways, guys, I'm going to get off here, like I said the other 7 times. I hope you guys have a wonderful day, and I will see you guys hopefully again soon. All right. Bye-bye. Pretty bird. Pretty bird. Pretty bird. Hi, pretty bird. Pretty bird. Can I say bye-bye? Pretty bird. Say bye. Goofball. Anyway. Bye, guys.